Hey everybody, First Warning Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Here's your midnight update on Hurricane Dorian. Gaining strength, it's been sitting over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream, so it's been gaining some strength tonight. And a couple things just looking at the loop here. The eye is very well defined, but it's becoming ragged again. Couple things I noticed too, it's actually have a little bit of a northeasterly movement. So here's Charleston up here, but it's beginning to make that northeast turn. We expect it to do something like this. Be close to, basically Cape Fear area, then Cape Lookout eventually down the road. But if you watch this loop a couple times, you can see it's definitely got a little bit northeast movement to it. It's not a ton. I'm looking at the actual movement showing up from the hurricane center, and it has 10 degrees north. And if you look at a compass, this is 90 degrees, and 10 degrees is like basically like that. Whoops. And then, 45 degrees off to the east there. So just to give you an idea on the movement, it's showing signs of that northeast movement. So we are kind of in good standing here that it's going to be here tomorrow morning. So that's a northeast movement, but that's really close to Charleston. I mean, this is the time frame right here. 8 a.m., it's 100 knots, 115 mile an hour hurricane just off the coast of Charleston. And so if you're in the Charleston area, the conditions are just going to go downhill over the next couple of hours as all that water gets pushed in there. So big time surge here, significant power outages, and likely some big time flooding. Then during the day, it's going to head up here. And I think if there's going to be the first opportunity for North Carolina landfall, it's going to be here just east of Oak Island. So this area, because it sticks out, and this is the only reason I think there could be a landfall here, this area sticks out, so it could clip there. It might barely miss it, but it's close enough to Holden Beach, Oak Island, Carolina Beach, eventually Wrightsville, Surf City. If it doesn't make landfall there, then it's got another opportunity, Cape Lookout right here, which is, Carteret County, Atlantic Beach, there's Morehead City, could clip right there. So that could be a landfall. If it doesn't make landfall there, it's going to be somewhere on Ocracoke Island or down in here, because this is actually the track right in here. So somewhere in here is going to, I think, have a landfall. And to be technically a landfall, it has to completely go over the land. So that time frame there is 8 a.m. Friday. The time frame here is 8 p.m. Friday. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow. So it's going to pick up speed as it moves to the northeast. So basically, if you live anywhere from the Outer Banks south to Charleston, please get shelter now, because this is going to be a significant hurricane, major hurricane, Cat 2, 3 on the coast. Inland areas, this isn't going to be that big of a deal. The further west you get, every 10 miles inland you go, the weather gets better. But if you're within 25 miles of the coast, it's going to be pretty brutal. And the surge is going to be the biggest issue. Now, you can see the loop there. The recon is flying in there right now. And if you look carefully, this is also how I know it's moving northeast, because you can actually see the actual edit points. One is there and one is there. So you can see it's actually, we'll zoom in a little bit. Notice from 956, whoops, not too close, 956 to 957, it's actually moved from here to here. That's a little bit of a northeast movement. So we're seeing that little bit of movement to the north. And the pressure is stabilized. It was 955, 956. It's coming up to 957. The other thing you notice on the recon, and this is how the plane does it, flies in the mid-levels, zigzags through there, goes up there, comes down. The plane is right here now. It's going to basically come up here and do one of these. They'll go up here and then do one of these. So they'll crisscross the plane and try to sample all these different sides of the storm. And everywhere you see pink are very strong winds, and bright pink. So you notice that there's really strong winds in this part of the storm offshore, even stronger than up here. These are pretty strong down here, but pretty strong upper level winds here as it's flying in. So this has got a pretty good wind field, and I would expect that it's going to maintain that wind field. So don't expect it to change impacts overall. If it weakens slightly, it's still going to be a significant hurricane. Please be ready tonight, because this is the track coming up to the northeast, making that little bit of a churn and doing that. Right now, that is the track for tomorrow. I will post update as soon as I get up tomorrow. Get a little sleep tonight. Get ready. Thursday into Thursday night will be the peak of this storm, everybody.